What's up guys, today I want to be going over a technical analysis over the Flow blockchain. As you probably know, they're working with NBA Top Shot, CryptoKitties, and the UFC. But today it's going to be more about the analysis of their technology rather than their products. Some of you might have got into NFTs on NBA Top Shot and didn't know it was associated with cryptocurrency. So today I want to give a quick, easy explainer. So the reason why that Flow is not based on the Ethereum protocol is because the Ethereum protocol is based on a general use. Flow is more specific case. And the reason why is because Flow is based on microtransactions, which will affect the speed, cost, and throughput. Meanwhile, it's focused on NFTs as well as having its own NFT dApps. So I'm going to go over this one really quickly, but CryptoKitties is a game built on the Ethereum network. And each CryptoKittie is one of one and 100% owned by the user. At its height, it had 13% of total transactions on Ethereum with $100 million in volume in 24 hours. And like I said earlier, the issue with Ethereum is right now gas. And so you can think of gas like shipping in terms of online e-commerce. So if you're ordering toothpaste, you don't want to pay for shipping if you just paid $1, $2 for toothpaste, right? And have to pay $3, $4 for shipping. And that's where Amazon Prime came in. So basically what sharding is basically you're splitting up a single block into multiple shards and then basically running them in parallel. So the problems with sharding, however, is that it's difficult to have dApps interoperability and communication on sharding technology. So to explain that in more detail, basically each shard is a microservice that's talking to each other for the app to be responsive for users. And the main issue here is the latency. So now what Flow is proposing is, however, a multi-role architecture. Essentially what that means is that there's going to be 4 different type of nodes for 4 different type of specific use cases: verification, consensus, collection, as well as execution. And how these nodes are organized is in a cluster format. It's similar to mempools, I guess, in terms of use case, however, do have different attributes. And so for example, like the collection node, it would gather in a cluster and they would verify each other as well. And each node is able to take action on an error based on attributability, punishability, and recoverability. And also in Flow, there's no trusted consensus node. So how their pipeline works is essentially like an assembly line. So basically one machine is designing the engine and parts, another is the body of the car, as well as another doing the paint job, and one doing testing machine. It's not one machine doing everything, it's 4 different machines. However, the difference between my analogy is the fact that they're checking one another. For example, if there's a malicious activity within the chain, and let's say the verification didn't catch it, right? The verification nodes didn't catch it. However, when it goes to the execution node, it won't be considered valid. So that's how it works in the line. What's really cool about the system also is the reduction in resource redundancy. So there's different requirements for different nodes. So for example, the execution node requires the user to bring 1 terabyte of RAM, right? So basically there's going to be less nodes on that. However, the consensus requirement is a lot less powerful. So they need more nodes. And now I just want to go over why I think that this is important. I think in the future, NBA Top Shot and perhaps UFC in general, they're going to move to dynamic NFTs. So what a dynamic NFT is, it basically takes real world time and data and applies it to your NFTs. So an example of that would be like DraftKings, where in fantasy football, based on whatever player you choose, if they're doing good, the value of your NFT would go up. Players doing bad, then the price would go down. And I believe that this is a strategy by them because it would increase the transaction count, average time spent on site, as well as the frequency of visits to the site. But this presentation is more focused on the protocol rather than the actual product. So we're going to move forward. So in order to do that, however, it requires something called an oracle. And this is why so many people recommend you having an oracle coin in your portfolio. Is because they think that it's going to be very valuable and useful in the future. What an oracle allows an app to do is access real-time data from the web. However, this system is going to require a large number of computations. So in CryptoKitties, the gene attribution comes with a computation. So for each attribute, for example, in NBA, it would be like field goals, field goal percentage, rebound, blocks, and steals, right? So that's always changing consistently and dynamically with how the player's doing. A lot of blockchains are focusing on the number of transactions. However, Flow blockchain is focusing on the number of computations as well, and that's why I do believe in the future this blockchain is going to appreciate in value. And also this is why I believe that their technology is going to be the one that NFTs will adopt in the future.